So today we continue with our class Laws of Yom Tov, and start with Sefer Shmiras Haloshon, and our topic is Scoffing. And it says one of the roots causes Lashon Hara, litzunas, right? Okay, could you please mute your microphone? Thank you, sorry. Okay, so scoffing. Some people are accustomed to scoffing at anything and attach themselves to people who are of their own kind. It is natural for such people to scoff at others who are outside their circle and speak derogatory of them. Okay. Therefore, one who seeks to cleanse his soul should ponder the terrible sin of such behavior. Our sages teach that scoffers are one of the four groups that will not merit a divine presence. Right? It says in Sota 42a. In addition to his own sins, scoffer is guilty of causing others to join him in his ridicule. It is well known that to cause others to sin is an extremely grave offense and prevents the perpetrator from being granted heavenly assistance to repent. It's from Pirkei Avos 5:18. So let's split it into parts. First do this. Okay. So again, scoffing. Okay. One of the roots of Lashon Hara is scoffing, meaning Lashon Hara. So as we said, it is true, and maybe that person has these deficiencies. So and they make everything fun. So and usually these people are the most popular, right? Not in the Jewish. I mean, sometimes unfortunately in Jewish environment as well. Right, but it should not be so. So they're always joking. They always say, "Oh, why he's late?" Because and he makes up like a joke or something. Why he's late? Why he's early? Why he's late? Right, all of these things. Right, so there are many people like that. So and it is scoffing for sure. It's Lashon Hara. Some people, so because other people get offended. Some people are accustomed to scoffing at anything and attach themselves to people who are of their own kind. So, right, so they scoff at anything. They just, they don't need even the reason. Whatever they see, they're going to make fun. And they are looking for a company of same-minded people. And it's like a snow cone, right? It's dangerous, right? I mean, not dangerous, disaster. It is natural for such a people to scoff at others who are outside of the circle and to speak derogatory of them. So whoever is not like us, they right, they're like open target, okay, to make jokes. Therefore, one who seeks to cleanse his soul should ponder the terrible sin of such a behavior. Right. So if person, as we're going to see, knows the consequence. So first thing is stop yourself. And or I guess even before stopping yourself, dissociate yourself from such people, right? Because even if you try to keep quiet, for example, and not to scoff, but if you have an environment like that, so I'm not sure you're going to hold on for a very long time. Okay. Our sages teach that the scoffers are one of the four groups that will not merit the divine presence. So that's so if you want to in this, and if somebody has for sure, if a person is a part of this group, so he's included in this group of scoffers. That's how in Shemaim they see them, even though he was just listening or giggling a little, right? In addition to his own sins, the scoffer is guilty of causing others to join him in ridicule. Right? Again, whether they also joked or not, it's irrelevant. Right? So he's guilty in all of these sins. And if they believe this Lashon Hara, it's even worse, of course. It is well known that the cause of others to sin, to cause others to sin, is extremely grave offense. right? So the person who makes other people to sin, providing them opportunity, putting stumbling blocks, so he's guilty, and he's getting all of their all of their sins as well. And prevent the perpetrator from being granted the heavenly assistance to repent. Meaning, that's we discussed this in Hilchas Teshuvah, right? Several categories. The 24 categories. Don't exactly remember how many categories, but there's people who Hashem is not going to help. Basically, is it possible to do the show? Yes, it's possible to do the show, but very, very hard. Okay, so no divine assistance, basically, because of the gravity of the sins. The best example is a Pharaoh. Was it possible for a Pharaoh from Egypt to do the show? Absolutely, yeah. Right, but it was very, very difficult. Okay, so continue. Aside from all of the above, to idle one's time away, even not in a sinful way, is to waste of precious time that could be used for a study in Torah and accruing reward in the world to come. According to one Talmudic opinion, the verse for he scorned at the words of Hashem in Bamidbar 15:31 applies to one who squanders the opportunity to study Torah. Okay. How ashamed then should one be to have spent an hour upon hour in the company of scoffers? Moreover, were they to restrain themselves from speaking the forbidden, they would thereby merit eternal life. For as the Medrash states, for each moment that the person refrains from speaking the forbidden, he merits the hidden light that no angel can fathom. Okay, just 1 second. 1 second, sorry. 1 second. So let's do this part again. And it says, aside from all of the above, and being stumbling block for other people, to idle one's time away, even not in a sinful way. Meaning, the time is life is the biggest gift, the most precious commodity that we have, assets, right? Time, our life. So even ask anybody, if, like especially a person dying, if he would or she would be willing to give everything to live another day. They say, absolutely, what are you talking about? Right? And people waste. Okay. Again, to idle one time away, even not in a sinful way. Okay. Is to waste the precious time that could be used for studying Torah and accruing reward for the world to come. Meaning Hashem gave us time. Hashem gave us, I guess, free time. So your person does not have to work as a slave for 12 hours or so every day, right? And he gave you brain, and he gave you opportunity, health, and everything. And person wastes his or her time on nonsenses. Yes, that's very bad, right? Right. So instead, we should learn Torah and accrue the reward in the world to come. According to one Talmudic opinion, the verse for he scorns the words of Hashem, right, by Midbar 15:31 applies to one who squandered the opportunity to study Torah. They have opportunity, but they did not. They were interested in I don't know, looking at the moon or something, or this sunrise or sunsets. All of the waste of life experiences. Okay, I mean, you can see the pictures. So you want a perfect sunset, you go Google type perfect sunset. They're going to show you from different part of the world. You don't have to take 7 days to travel one way, another way. Look at the pictures and you're good. How ashamed then should one be who spent hours upon hours in the company of scoffers? So I mean, in this company, but it's fun. It's amazing fun to be around them. Always they joke. Always they see like tiny the deficiency in everybody, and then they bring them to light. Very interesting, right? Moreover, were they to restrain themselves from speaking the forbidden, they would thereby merit the eternal life, right? So just hold ourselves back, right? A person can get eternal life. How, right? As the message states, for each moment a person refrains from speaking the forbidden, he merits the hidden light that no angel can fathom. So that's the reward. And actually, for all other sins, right, that a person was capable of doing, and he or she held themselves back, so they're going to be rewarded. Sorry. Okay. So let me know if any questions, please. Okay, and what we said. No questions. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so we continue with laws of Yom Tov, and we start today a new topic, and very, very interesting topic, and many people have do not know this halacha, and they create leniency for themselves out of nothing. So it's chapter 27, bathing and showering. Okay. The halachas pertaining to washing oneself on Yom Tov differed greatly from the related halachas on Shabbos. Okay. The primary difference is that whereas on Shabbos, heating water or using hot tap water is entirely prohibited, on Yom Tov it is in some instances permitted. Okay. Heated water falls under the category of cooking, which is permitted for the sake of a hel nefesh. As explained in chapter 1, the category of hel nefesh included the fulfillment of any common physical need, since the washing one's body is a physical necessity. It is sometimes permitted to heat water for the purpose of Yom Tov. However, there are numerous limitations to this rule, as we shall explain. Proceed to learn. Okay, before we proceed, let's do this introduction. Okay. So first of all, halachas on Yom Tov differ from Shabbos about washing. So on Shabbos, you can wash how your face, your hands, your feet with the cold water, right? Shower, no, we don't take showers, but if needed, like if somebody gets soiled or somebody is a little sweaty, there is no problem. They can wash, right? So if it's in honor of Shabbos, there is no problem. But the complete shower we never allow. Okay, right? And just practically speaking, Shabbos is only one day, and Yom Tov usually 2 days, right? And then except Yom Kippur, it's 2 days. So it's 1 day you can go without shower. If I'm talking about summer, right? But 2 days is a little harder. Okay. And on Shabbos we're not allowed to heat water. You're allowed to use water that was preheated. There is no problem, right? If you were able to store it somewhere in hot, or for example, if it is still on your blech, right? You have a blech and you have the pot with water. There is no problem. You can keep it there, and then you can take whatever you want, not from the pot, but you have to remove the pot, take the water, and then put it back, right? And you can mix it with cold water, and you can wash babies or whatever you need to do. You can use, or for dishes, for example, you can use warm water. Do many people do that? I know some of them that doing exactly like that. I told them, and they're very happy. They have a big pot, right? And they always have hot water. Okay, no problem. Okay, so and heating the water, of course, it falls under category of cooking, right? You cook water. Okay. Okay, and on Yom Tov, as we said many times, the cooking is permitted for a hel nefesh. So a hel nefesh, again, that what person is going to eat, right? And okay. And so basically, you can use this water to make a tea or cook soup, or you can use it to wash, right? And partially, not complete body. We're going to see only partially. Okay. So and plus, only parts of the body that are physical necessity for majority of the people, right? Okay. Let's start. Section number 1. Laws pertaining to adults. Washing the entire body. So we're talking about Yom Tov. One of the qualification to the rule of Hel Nefesh is that Melachah is pertinent only to this category as something that is equal necessity for every person. There is to most of the people. So let's do it again, and we're going to explain. So when we spoke about smoking, right? When we spoke about smoking, and even though in olden days many people smoke, a lot of people smoke, but today's like only minority of people smoke, right? So you cannot say it's absolute necessity, right? So that's why there is machlokes, since there was opinion that was very popular. Today is not so popular. So basically, you're allowed to smoke under only you're smoking during the week. Only then you can smoke on Yom Tov, right? But here they say. So and this is the qualification, right? The qualification, something the equal necessity for every person, meaning to eat hot food, there is equal necessity. To drink hot drinks, there is equal necessity, right? To carry things, whatever is needed for Yom Tov, common necessity, but not everything. Washing the entire body is not considered daily necessity for every person. So many people wash, I don't know, in a third world country or or not in undeveloped countries, and not maybe once a week. Sometimes even less than that, right? So it's for sure it's not a common necessity for every person to wash entire body, right, every day. Those who have the practice of bathing and showering daily are categorized as sensitive people. It is therefore prohibited to heat water for the purposes of Yom Tov, or to use tap water, which tantamount to heating the new water, new water that flows into the tank to replace the water that is used. Okay, so let's try to understand what it says here. I'm going to explain. So washing the entire body, we say it's not necessity for every person. Right? If you live in the Western world, I mean, even like in summer it's hot. On Pesach, this Pesach maybe really if it's not going to be that hot, I don't think so. But Shabbos for sure, like in June, July, it's very hot, right? And Sukkot also, Rosh Hashanah also hot usually. Okay. Right. So it is therefore prohibited. So since it is not, there is no such necessity for all people, right, to wash. So now we cannot heat the water for the purpose for this purpose on Yom Tov, meaning for washing. Okay. For cooking as much as you want, but for washing no. Or to use tap water. So tap water, what is tap water? You you open your valve, right, and the water from the street, from the system enters your water heater, and it pushes out other water, and this new fresh water that just came in start cooking, right? It was cold, I mean whatever cold, normal temperature, and now you start cooking water in the basement or something, wherever you have your water heater. That's how it works. So you cook water. Okay. So it would be forbidden, since the washing is forbidden. Furthermore, the sages prohibited bathing or showering one's entire body in Yom Tov, even with the warm water that was heated before that day. It is customary to refrain from bathing or showering with cold water on Yom Tov. Okay. Before we continue. Okay, so sages say even if you have preheated water. So on Israel, in Israel, right, in some other countries, they have a water tank on top of the roof, right? Why? Because it's so hot. The sun beats so extensively, so it warm up the water. You don't need to use electricity, zero. You don't need to use this, what is it, the this what is it, sun panels. You don't need that. It's going to warm up. So like for sure nothing is done on Shabbos. It's from previous from the day before. Like let's say it's Yom Tov morning, for sure all of this water was heated before. So they say absolutely not. So meaning entire body. And it's customary to refrain from bathing or showering even this cold water on Yom Tov. So people complain. I'm very sad. I mean, of course, it is customary. So there is some exceptions. So for example, somebody have some skin disease, some I don't know, some rash, unless they take a shower, they're going to go crazy. So to these people we would allow, but otherwise, like for other people, there is no such necessity. Continue. In case of discomfort, for example, a person is perspirating heavily, it is permitted to bathe or shower with cold water. Okay. Therefore, it is even permitted to do so even with the warm water that heated before the Yom Tov, as a rabbinic prohibition against bathing was not imposed for the case of discomfort. However, nowadays it is generally not possible, since we do not store large volumes of warm water, and turning on the hot tap is forbidden. Okay, so the answer is yes and no. Okay, so let's read this again, and we're going to explain. So this exception. So as I said, like if somebody is perspiring heavily or some rush, so we would allow to use like maybe a little warm water, but otherwise no. So again, in case of discomfort, for example, perspiring heavily, it is permitted to bathe or shower with the cold water. So with cold water is okay, but I'm not like if somebody try to take a shower with cold water, it's not so pleasant. I mean, unless person is trained, it's not. Even in summer, even when you're very hot, it's not so pleasant. So basically, if you want to do that and in this condition, no problem. We try not to, but if needed, you can. Theoretically, it even permitted to do so with the warm water that was heated before Yom Tov. So as I said, if you have a heating tank on top, yes, or if you can turn on somehow this water heater. I'm not sure. I mean, technically, I'm not sure. I don't want to say. Okay, if it's possible to completely turn it off, yes, there is no problem before the Yom Tov. So whatever is warm there, it's going to be used. Okay, that's a different story. Or as we said, it's somewhere on the roof. Okay, as rabbinical prohibition against bathing is not imposed in case of discomfort. So okay, so cold water or warm water that was heated before Yom Tov. However, nowadays it is generally not possible, since we do not store large volume of water, right? But if you need, like if you have this tank on top and you need exactly 1.5 minutes, maybe it's not such a big deal. Okay, but turning on a hot water tap is forbidden. So why? Because the showering is forbidden. Okay. Okay, so again, if in case of the great discomfort, no problem. Okay, but not opening the hot water tub. Okay, continue. Washing one limb at a time. So this one is the solution. So right. Washing the entire body one limb at a time is not subject to rabbinic prohibition mentioned above. Thus, it is permitted to wash one limb at a time with the cold water or water heated before Yom Tov. So never with the hot water, right? However, it is forbidden to heat water, use hot tap water for this purpose. So meaning you're not in that category of that we just discussed. So per person is is perspiring heavily, right? Not okay, but you just want to refresh yourself, okay. Furthermore, one may not do so in a shower or tub because it might lead to washing the entire body at once. If one is wearing some clothing, it is permitted to wash one limb at a time, in a shower or tub, because being closed serves as a reminder not to wash the entire body at once. So basically, our sages put one fence upon another fence, in order for us, like they say, if you're not in this very the situation where it's it's very like discomforting, right? So you can do one limb at a time, but it's better to be dressed like partially, so you can. So it would be a reminder for you not to step in and shower and wash completely. Is it messy? Yeah, it's very messy. But if that's what person wants, okay, there is a way to do that. Okay. Continue. Washing part of the body. Washing minor parts of the body is considered a daily necessity common to most of the people. Meaning when some part of the body got soiled or something, that's hands. It is therefore permitted to heat up water on Yom Tov by cooking water in a pot, right, or opening hot water tap, or whatever you do, for the purpose of washing any part of one's body, as long as it's less than majority of the body. Okay, so of course it's not okay. So let's see. Washing the majority is the same as washing the entire body. However, one may not wash the body part in a shower or in a bathtub unless one is partly closed. So this is a little difficult, right? So, but let's try to understand. I mean, first we say no, and now we say yes, but there is some condition. So let's try to understand what's the difference between this case and previous one. So they say washing the parts of the body. So in previous also, like it was washing the part of the body, but it was the goal was to wash body completely, right? One limb at a time. Is it? So here, washing part of the body is considered like daily necessity common for most of the people, right? Meaning that you can do with hot water, meaning heat up the water, meaning hot water, for the purpose of washing any part of the body, any one part of one's body, as long as it is less than majority of the body. So meaning that you're clearly not planning to take a shower, right? Only like wash like partially. Okay, there is as we said, there is no problem. Washing majority of the body is the same washing the entire body, and that's not our intention. That's what we spoke in previous point. However, one may not wash the body part in a shower or the bathtub unless one's partially closed. So you wash in a sink, maybe with the hot water, if it's possible, right? Whatever you need to wash, or if you wanted to wash in a bathtub, in a shower cabin, so that's only have to be partially closed. So meaning what? That it's very, very messy. Okay, but if needed, you can do it. Okay, so let's see. Continue. So second part is bathing infant and children, right? So that's totally different halacha, as we said many times. So they are in category sick people automatically, even though they are healthy, right? If baby is usually bathed every day, or at least every other day, it is permitted to bathe him in the warm water on Yom Tov. In this case, the bathing is considered as essential part of the child's development and care. And the sages did not impose their prohibition against bathing. So meaning that you can cook water, right? You can warm up water anyway, right? And for a child, since I'm just saying like it's for a sick person, right? You're allowed to do that. Okay, so right, so the sages were not against it, of course. However, the biblical prohibition against heating up water for the purpose of bathing the entire body applies even in case of the baby, since it is not so it's not like a common necessity for most of the people. Okay, so biblical prohibition is to warm up water to heat to wash another body, the complete body. Rabbinically, they say don't take even a cold shower, right? Unless, as we said, there is exceptions, or if you need warm water, but for some parts of the body, right? But now we're talking about baby. You say, yeah, you can wash the entire body, right? Right? If because it's for the child's development and care, that's good. But we still have a biblical exception restriction, not to wash the entire body. It did not say whether adult or a child. Thus, it is prohibited to cook up water or open the hot water tap in order to bathe baby. But it is permitted to use the water that was heated before Yom Tov, for example, in urn. Right? One may also ask Gentile to open that hot water tap for this purpose, but not cook up water. Okay. So there is a solution. There is a different solution. I think that he's going to give also. Meaning, I mean, the most like straightforward solution. I mean, straightforward, like easy solution, easier to remember solution. If you open the hot water tap for something permissible, you're not obligated to close right away, right? So if I open hot water tap to wash my hands, I can let the water continue flowing, and then you use this water for a baby. Okay, so that's approach that we may take. Okay, so let's do this one more time. Thus, it is forbidden to cook up water or to open hot water tap in order to bathe baby. So if that's how you start for that to bathe baby, absolutely not. But it is permissible to use the water that was heated before Yom Tov, right? As we said, that maybe you have a big pot on a blech, right? Or in the water or thermos. I mean, like especially infants, you don't need too much water, and it cannot be very hot as well. So I mean, you can save up water. Like I'm talking about Shabbos. Sorry, even on Shabbos you can have preheated water saved. One may also ask Gentile to open that hot water tap for this purpose, but not cook up water. Okay. There is another permissible methods of obtaining hot water on Yom Tov in order to bathe a baby, right? So because that's how we started, we can bathe the baby. If one needs to open hot water tap for a permissible purpose, for example, wash one's hands and or feet, one may let the water continue to flow in order to have enough to bathe in the baby. So as I said, you don't have to close right away. It's your own business, right? You open permissible way and it's continue flowing, you just let it flow. Similarly, if one needs to cook hot water for drinking, one may fill up pot before placing it on a fire so that there will be enough for a bathing baby as well. Okay, so there is a second option. You have a big pot, right? And you want to have some tea, right? So you can pour like 80% more than you need. Put on the fire, and when it's hot, you can use for a tea, and you can use to bathe the baby. Right? Same water, no problem. This is permitted only for the sake of the baby, but not for the sake of adult who wishes to bathe his entire body. Okay, so as we said, if adult wants to use like a wash part of their body, no problem. With warm water. A baby who does not receive bath daily, or at least every other day, is treated as adult with respect to the bathing. Right. So if infant, of course, you need to wash much often. But if other babies, let's say they take a bath every 2 days, 3 days, so then we treat them as adults and would not allow them to take shower or to take a bath. So basically, we make sure that everybody is taking shower and taking a bath before the holiday. That's it. Okay. Next, cases of necessity. If child became extremely dirty on the Yom Tov, it is permissible to wash the child's entire body with the warm water that was heated on Yom Tov. Even the child is not usually bathed daily. So I mean that's it's for sure. It's not for a pleasure, not for this, not for that, but it's because child became extremely dirty. Okay, so that's exception. However, the water may not be heated specifically for this purpose, but only through the permissible method described above. So in this case, when the child became extremely dirty, so you're allowed to wash, but again, only when if you open the water to wash your hands or child hands, and then you continue it's flowing, that's not a problem, or just warm on your stove. Whatever you do is good, basically. Continue. If child has a rash or other skin problem that causes discomfort, a child is in category of the one who has a minor illness. So minor illness, as we spoke before, just to remind us, there are 3 categories, and it's category 1. That right? So that's not a big deal. Therefore, one may ask a Gentile, right? Since it is a baby, you can ask Gentile to open the hot water tap, or to boil up the water. Okay, so either one. If Gentile is not available, Jew may open the hot water tap in unusual manner, like maybe with the elbow or something, or as we said, open for themselves. Okay. So let me know if you have any question, but we did not finish. So next section, other prohibition apply when bathing. So if you have questions, only on what we said, because there's more material. If anything. No questions? Okay. So we continue. Let me see if my speaker is working. Yes. Okay. So continue. Part number 3.
Rabbi?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
There's a couple questions on the board. Sorry.
No problem.
So it says, for 3 days Yom Tov and Shabbos situation, if a woman needs to go to the mikveh for family purity on the 2nd or the 3rd night, is she allowed to wash her entire body with warm water or hot water?
No, what's up? On the 3rd night is a little 3rd night you can do after the Shabbos ends or after the Yom Tov ends. So the 3rd night is out of the question. So the only thing is the 2nd night, right? That's first night she can do preparation beforehand. It's not a question. So the problem is the 2nd night. If she's allowed to warm up the water, it's a good question. It's a good question. I would say wash, in this case, would wash with the cold water. Okay, or add some water that from preheated. Okay, but we need to look up this halakha because it's a like exceptional case. I'm not sure if he's going to speak about it, but I'm not sure. So let's put it aside. That's a very good question. So again, the issue only is 1 night, not 3 nights. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi. Next question. Question about opening hot water tap. Since we are only allowed to lit from fire to fire on Yom Tov, I wonder how is opening hot water tap permitted?
Because it's very good question. So the heat is always on in the water heater. It never off. So why? Because even if you don't use the hot water, because of the time, because of the heat exchange, so the water cools down, and you have the thermostat in a heater, so you put on any settings you want. For example, in my heater, it's like 4 settings, A, B, C, and D. Right? I'm not sure what a temperature associated with this, but it's irrelevant. We have it on C. Right? D, it's like maybe when you need a lot of people and you need like do it very fast, right? But even if we don't use completely, nobody's using hot water anyway, like the temperature drops during the day, right? And it turns out automatically, because it keeps the water warm, right? So it's not like we're doing anything. You understand? So it's very, very indirect. So if anything, maybe we enlarge the fire, right? Enlarge the fire, as we said, there is no problem on Yom Tov, because it's for the purpose of cooking. To put off the fire completely, that's as we spoke before, it would be a problem. So in this case, there is no problem whatsoever. And what is cooking? Again, the fresh water that comes into the heater. That's what's cooking. Okay. But without this fresh water, you don't have a pressure, unless I'm missing something. I mean, in my water heater, there is no pump. So the water circulates based on the pressure from the street. Okay. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Okay, that's okay. So let's continue. So part number 3. Other prohibitions that apply when bathing. Okay. When washing or bathing, one may not use the bar soap due to the prohibition smoothing, as explained in the previous chapter. However, it is permissible to use free-flowing liquid soap. Dense liquid soap should not be used unless it has been liquidified through the dilution with water. Okay, so bar soap never allowed on Shabbos or Yom Tov. Why? We're smoothing, and plus there is another problem that sometimes there is like a brand name or some company name, something like, and then you erase it. That's another issue. Okay. Okay, so we use if a person is allowed to wash like partially free flowing soap, body wash, whatever they need to do, there's no problem. Okay, all of the liquid. So if it's too dense, so just add a little water and you're good. Another prohibition applicable to bathing is Melachah of wringing. So wringing is a big issue, right? So we have to be careful. One may not use a sponge or a washcloth when bathing or washing a child, because one will inevitably squeeze out the absorbed water, right? Because we get used to it. A child should be washed by hand instead, right? This melachah is also applicable when drying child's hair after the bath or shower. It is forbidden to rub the hair with a towel, since this squeezes water from the hair. The best practical solution is to drape towel over the child's head and allow it to absorb the surface liquid. Okay, so let's do this piece again, and we're going to explain. Another prohibition applicable to bathing is melachah of wringing. So that's it's always right. It's like for example, when somebody got caught in a rain, right, and everything is wet, so we must be very careful not to wring anything, especially socks when you stood out in a puddle or something like so. Never no wringing, just leave it as it is. And same is of course when child there's no sponges, right, or washcloth, and same for dishes, right? Even though we're allowed, as we said many times, you're allowed to wash dishes, but you're never allowed to use sponge. Is it very convenient? It's absolutely not convenient. It's the washing of the dishes without the washing cloth, like dishwashing cloth or sponge, is very, very inconvenient. So that's why is it allowed? Yes. Advisable? Absolutely not. Right? And you cannot do the good job. I mean, sponge is the best, but the problem is the sponge that person might get to squeeze it. Continue. Child should be washed by hand instead. So hand, of course, there is no problem. You're not going to squeeze it. The Melachah also applied to the drying child's hair. So if it's a boy with a short hair, there is nothing to squeeze, right? So you just tap it and that's it. If a girl with a longer hair, yeah, so don't squeeze it. So make a turban or something. And let her walk like this, and the towel is going to absorb, and that's it. As much as possible, and leave it like that. And of course, I'm just have to add you're not allowed to brush the hair, so that's another issue. So if you want to wash like a child's hair, and then you not just think twice, because washing is one thing, but brushing the hair is a different thing. Okay. Okay. So the best practical solution is to drape towel over the child's head. We said that. Continue. It's also forbidden to brush. Okay, here we go. Brush the child's hair while it is wet, even if the type of the brush that may be otherwise used on Yom Tov. Okay. So wet because it's easier to pull out hair, and this brush that may be otherwise used on Yom Tov, we said, with like very soft bristles, and it's going to give way. It's not going to pull out hair, and it was tested before Yom Tov. Okay, for Shabbos. Continue. Number 4, cleaning a baby who has a soiled diaper. Right. So as we understand, this is going to be much more lenient. Okay. So it says baby wipes. It is forbidden to use baby wipes, moist towelettes on Yom Tov, because the soapy water is inevitably squeezed out during their use, in violation to Melachah of wringing. Right, so that's the purpose of this baby wipes. Right, so it has soap, it has right, so all these other things, some lotion, I think, even. Right, it's good for the baby, but you're going to squeeze these wipes unless you let them out, you let them like stand dry, right? So they semi-dry, and then you would be able to use it, because there is we don't afraid that you're going to squeeze. Okay. However, if the towelettes contain very little liquid, here we go. For example, they have previously been squeezed out or manufactured with a small amount of liquid. So I would say, I mean, what we always tell people, just let it stand, I don't know, for 2 hours, 3 hours, and they're going to dry by themselves. You don't have to squeeze them, you don't have to do anything. Right? One is permitted to use them. Okay. So not fresh the way you like it, but the one that dried up. The criteria for such a use is as follows: if towelette will deposit sufficient amount of moisture on the baby to wet another person who touches the moist area, it is prohibited. On the other hand, if towelette will leave only a moist film that is not sufficient to wet another person touching the baby, the towelette may be used. Okay, so they give us formula, and it's actually like generic formula how our sages describe something is wet or not wet. So a person might say, like, what, I do not know it's wet or not. Right? I see it. No, it's not true. So our sages say if it can be transferred, the moisture can be transferred to the third object. So in this case, the moisture from this baby wipe. So you wipe this baby, right? And not you, somebody else, or with another hand, you touch this this part of the baby leg, for example, when you just wipe, and you see, do you see the moisture on your fingers? So most likely it's going to be dry. I mean, unless it's like very fresh, this baby wipe. So if it's dry, it's not considered to be moisture, right? Moisture only if it can transfer to the third object, and it's everywhere. It's like this, right? In all other halachas, I mean. Okay, so even though like on a baby's body you see like moist film, as he said, it's not considered to be squeezing according to halacha. It's not considered to be moisture according to halacha. Let's put it this way. Okay, continue. The same rule applies to cleaning the baby with a moist washcloth or a paper towel. So I mean, but of course we must be very careful. Like remember not to squeeze it. So maybe made like a little wet. A practical way of cleaning baby would be as follows. Bring baby to the sink and wash off the dirt by hand. That's perfect, right? Just let them stand in the sink and you wash them. No problem whatsoever. You can do whatever you need to. A glove may be worn in order to avoid soiling the hand. Okay, no problem. So you can wear a glove. No problem. And number 2, one may pour baby oil or lotion of loose consistency on the skin and clean the baby with tissue together with oil and lotion. However, to avoid the transgressing prohibition of smoothing, one should be careful not to let the tissue absorb. Schita. I'm sorry, schita. Schita means squeezing, wringing, right? One should be careful not to let the tissue absorb too much liquid. Okay, so let's. And first is very simple. I think my personal preference is the first one. Yeah, I mean, if it's a little child, so you can stand him or her in a sink and wash it this way, it would be easier and faster and less messy, the way I see it, right? But there is another one. So he said you may pour baby oil or lotion of loose consistency, let's say baby oil, on the skin and clean the baby with a tissue. So tissue, I guess, is would be dry tissue with oil and lotion. So instead of water, you wash your baby with a lotion. Okay. So the only problem, so if you put too much of this oil is a better example, I think, right? And it's going to absorb into your tissue, so you might get to squeeze it, right? You have to be very, very careful. Okay. Continue. Next section, number 5, summary of laws. Laws pertaining to adults. Okay. It is prohibited to bathe or shower one's entire body. So that's the bottom. We're going to bottom line. Or the majority of the body in warm water on Yom Tov, even if the water was heated up the day before. Okay. So not allowed to use to wash the entire body. Or majority of the body in the warm water on Yom Tov, in the water was heated before. So meaning even though no Melachah is done. It is customary to refrain from bathing or showering even with the cold water on Yom Tov. Meaning from here we can understand that some poskim allow to wash with the cold water, even the entire body. In case of discomfort, for example, person perspiring heavily, it is permitted to bathe or shower with cold water. Okay, but again, before I say I can wash with cold water, try one time. Right, even if you're very hot, it's not such a pleasant experience. Unless all people are different, but I think it's try. Continue, and of course, an adult also cannot use, of course, needless to say, washcloth, sponge, nothing. Okay, nothing that can trap water, basically. So wash only with your hands. It is permitted to wash the entire body, one limb at a time, with cold water, right? Even meaning there is no great discomfort, or water heated before Yom Tov. However, it is forbidden to heap up water or use the tap water for this purpose. So one limb at a time. Okay. It is permitted to heap up water for the purpose of washing a minor part of the body. Okay. So as I said, for most of the people, it's commonly wash hands and face, right? So for hands and face, you can open the hot water tap, basically. Next one, washing the part of the body in the shower or bathtub is forbidden unless it's partly closed, right? Meaning that you're not going to step in completely. Or maybe you're standing in a bathtub, but the shower head pointing to the bottom, so immediately you're not going to wet your clothing. Okay. Continue. Bathing infant and children. A baby that is normally bathed every day or every other day may be bathed or in warm water on Yom Tov. Right? So baby, we said it's a special category. So if they do it every day, every other day, no problem. You can do it with warm water because it's like for them it's necessity. They're in category of a person whose life is not in danger, but a sick person. The third category. It is forbidden to heat water or turn on hot water tap for this purpose. Okay, so even though it is allowed for them to wash them in the warm water, but the prohibition is from the Torah to use hot water to wash the entire body, including children. So, but there are a few solutions. It is permitted to use water heated the day before. It is also permitted to have Gentile to open hot water tap on, but not boiled water. Okay, so you can ask them. Meaning non-Jew, or you use preheated water. Next one, if one opened the hot water tap for permissible purpose, one may let the water continue to flow so the baby can bathe. And for me, as I said, it's the most practical solution, the less messy one, and I think it's right. That's my preferred solution. Okay, but of course people can use any others, as we said. This procedure may also be followed if the child who is not bathed daily became extremely dirty on Yom Tov, right? Meaning that and you need to wash this child completely. Okay. If a child has a rash, right? One may have. If a child has a rash, one may have a Gentile heat up water for that purpose of bathing him. Okay. If no Gentile is available, one may open hot water tap in unusual manner. So, or as we said, wash his hands and just continue the water running. Just let the water run. Okay. And the next one, restriction associated with bathing. One may use only free-flowing liquid soap on Yom Tov, as we said, no bar soap, but not bar soap or a dense liquid soap. So dense, as we explained before, it's like almost like a cream or something, like usually expensive ones. Okay. One may not use the washcloth or sponge. Okay, so because of the wringing, squeezing. And next one may not rub wet hair with a towel, nor brush it, meaning that you're going to squeeze the hair, water out of the hair. And the last one, cleaning a soiled child. When cleaning a child that was soiled, that has soiled the diaper, one may not use moist towelettes, but we said we explained how it may make them not moist, right? That will deposit enough liquid on the baby's skin to wet another person who touched it. Okay, as we explained. So you wipe the child. It's still you see that there's a wetness on the child, but if somebody touches the child and check their hands, it's most likely it's going to be absolutely dry. Okay, so let me know if any questions. Yes.
There's a question on the board. Shalom Kol, I wonder if one is washing the child's hair on Yom Tov, is he allowed to use liquid conditioner, since conditioner tends to untangle the hair? I wonder if it would count as untying.
Oh yeah, no, there is no problem with conditions. So believe it or not, so when I was reading, I also thought about hair conditioner. What is the problem? Because usually it's not like I'm a big expert, but I think it's much thicker than shampoo. Right, so it's like I think from what I saw, I saw maybe two kinds, or three kinds, but they for sure it's like much more thicker. So this one you would need to dilute with water, right? Okay. What else?
Thank you for that. One more question on the board. It says, in case the baby wipes, in case of the baby wipes we have, in case baby wipes have too much moisture, would it be allowed to leave a set of them on the bathroom's counter so they dry up a little and become usable?
Yeah. I mean, as the way I understand, if you separate them maybe 5-6 hours, and if you want to leave them overnight, for sure they're going to be very dry. I mean, not very dry, but dry enough, like still have a little liquid, like moisture, but dry enough halachically. I mean. Okay.
That was the last question.
Last question. Okay, so thank you very much. So let's go to our next topic. And next topic is Yichud. Okay. So last time we finished chapter 1. So it was a chapter, even though it says chapter 1 somehow. Yeah. Okay. So I thought it is in the introduction, but it was introduction because most of the things that we learned, they didn't have details. So only some highlights of details, but all of the references what we're going to learn throughout the book. Okay, so now we're going to chapter 2, and our topic is structure of the laws of Yichud. Okay, structure, the basic structure in double quotes. Okay, so it says, let's see, and it says Yichud midaraisa, Yichud bin midrabanan, meaning midraisa is the Torah and midrabanan is rabbinic. Permissible forms of Yichud, okay, kinui, self-imposed Yichud, right? Shiur of Yichud, shiur meaning like duration, right? A momentary Yichud. So momentary Yichud is what is elevator, right? Momentary Yichud. Yichud with relatives, step relatives. Okay. Next one, Yichud with in-laws. Okay. Possible. Yichud with minors. Yichud with ill, elderly, and incapacitated. Yichud with Yichud over ger, convert. Okay, so you see that it's going to be a lot of very, very important and interesting information, right? So let's see. So chapter 2, basic structure of the laws of Yichud. You know what? It's like table of content. I'm going to skip it. Okay, so chapter 1, the basic structure of the laws of Yichud. As explained in chapter 1 above, Yichud is defined as any circumstance in which a man and a woman / women are in seclusion. Okay, there is protected from outside intrusion in a manner conducive to arayas, conduct. Okay, so let's try to understand before we continue. So again, Yichud is a seclusion with of a man and a woman or women in plural in a place when people cannot get from outside, right? Like you're a partner. You don't say hello to your neighbors for past 10 years. Like you think that they're going to ring your bell today? No, nobody's most likely nobody's going to come. Even if you leave your door open, nobody's going to come, right? So it's continue. Okay, 3 category of yichud. Okay. Not all situations of yichud seclusion are equal on as halachos of yichud. Okay. There are 3 separate levels of categories of yichud. Yichud midaraisa, forbidden by Torah law, see A below. Okay, we're going to go. So midaraisa is meaning that it's Torah prohibition when we have to run. Like do, of course, if it's a life risk, don't do it. But otherwise, we must do everything, right, to get out of the situation. You could or fix it somehow. Okay, you could be in midrabanan, rabbinically ordained by rabbinic ordinance. See below B, and permissible, not restricted yichud. See below. Okay, right. So again, Torah level, rabbinical level, and something that is not yichud at all, meaning permissible. Even though a man and a woman in seclusion, they are behind the closed door, there is no problem. Halachic differences between the 3 categories of yichud. For the most practical purposes, there is no difference between yichud. There is forbidden midaraisa yichud and forbidden midrabanan. Both are serious transgressions. However, okay, so before we continue, with all of the laws, like for most of the people, it's absolutely irrelevant whether it's biblical or rabbinical, because it's all this rabbinical they prohibited even on double prohibition, right? Because Torah says, listen to the rabbis. So when the person transgresses rabbinical prohibition, he or she transgresses rabbinical prohibition plus Torah prohibition, which tells us to listen to our rabbis. But in some cases, a rabbi or somebody like, or if you're knowledgeable enough and you need to find some leniency, yes. So if you know that this prohibition of whatever situation, yichud or otherwise, is in the rabbinical category, yeah, it's could there could be some leniencies. Okay. Continue. However, there are a combination of halachic factors are present that can generate basis for leniency approach of yichud the midrabanan. So of course, so as we always say, so rabbis gave gave us restrictions on one hand. On another hand, they provide us some leniencies in case of great necessity, right? So, but only they are allowed to do that. So they say this is not allowed, but this is an exception. But just because it's a rabbinical does not mean that I can make up whatever I want, right? So it's very important to remember. And some people, like some people I met over the years, that's how they think. If it's rabbinical, it's I can do whatever I want, basically. If it's like even minor inconvenience, which is absolutely not true. Okay. See B below, section B below, for further elaboration on definition of yichud medrabanan and relevant halachic differences. Okay, so we start with section A. Yichud forbidden by the Torah law, yichud midaraisa. Okay, yichud midaraisa forbidden by Torah law is the severest form of. Severest form of yichud. The poskim generally agree that this refers strictly to the seclusion comprised of no more than 2 people. Okay, there is a man with a woman who are not husband and wife alone, as further explained below. Okay. So yichud on a Torah level is 1 man and 1 woman, right? That's it, 2 people. Except, of course, as we said, husband and wife. Of course, I mean, I'm not sure why he said husband and wife, but not others. I mean, like a person and his daughter, there is or a son and a mother, also no problem. But okay, let's leave it. Let's keep it simple. Just to follow the book. So he said, two people. It's a classic example of Yichud on a Torah level, man and a woman. Okay. Okay, A, like subcategory. Definition of Yichud Midaraisa: seclusion of erva couple. Okay, erva couple in double quotes. Based upon what has been stated above, Yichud Midaraisa can only occur where the two conditions are present. Okay, first, two persons. There are no more than two persons. There is one man and one woman. Okay, so here we now after so many pages, we did an overview. Now we go into details on a biblical level. One man and one woman. So right, and it's first condition. Second, they are erva. There are two forbidden erva status to each other. There is a woman and a man between whom relations are forbidden midaraisa. See A2 one below for further definition of erva. So okay, so erva meaning that they cannot be together, right, intimately. Okay. On the biblical level. Okay. So now we're going to even further details. So it was subcategory A, and now we're going to in even deeper subcategory A1, and it says the concept of two persons double quotes, Yichud of more than two persons is not midaraisa, meaning it is still forbidden because our sages in their great wisdom knew that people have no shame, right, and that they could do in even more than two people, but midaraisa it's only one and one. Okay. Since as stated, Yichud Midaraisa is limited to no more than two persons, it follows that any seclusion comprised of three or more persons, for example, two women and one man, or two men and one woman, is not Yichud. They are Midaraisa. So it is still forbidden, but on different level. Okay. I mean, I'm just adding the words, right? Okay. So okay. Continue. However, when when in these cases, for example, two or according to some three women, along with one man, Yichud is forbidden midrabanan. Okay. So now we're going to midrabanan. If one man and two women, or one man and three women, so more stricter, right? As explained below, section B. Regarding Yichud with four women, or four women with one man, or one woman alone with two men, which can be permitted, see section B. Okay, we're going to get to it. Okay, so we're going to see what kind of man. If it's non-promiscuous man, of course, absolutely not. Or even 7 of them, whatever. That's But if Torah scholars, decent people, will see there is some exception. Okay, so point number 2. So A2. Concept of erva, Yichud between persons who are erva midaraisa. Okay, so either erva midrabanan, erva midaraisa. Okay. A second condition for Yichud midaraisa requires the two persons be erva midaraisa to each other. There is seclusion of a man and a woman between whom relations are forbidden midaraisa. Okay. One second. One second. Okay. Some technical issues. Okay. Good. Okay. So let me just read one more time. The second condition of Yichud Midaraisa requires that two persons be erva midaraisa to each other. There is seclusion of a man and a woman between whom relations are forbidden midaraisa relations. However, Yichud of a man and a woman who are not in a status of erva midaraisa is not yichud midaraisa, even though the seclusion is comprised of only two people. Okay, for example. Okay, so there is okay. Let's do example. A non-Jewish woman is considered erva midrabanan. I'm sorry, erva midrabanan meaning on rabbinical level to a Jewish man, and so because she's forbidden, that's fine, right? So she's not Jewish, so it's easier, right? And a non-Jewish man is considered erva midrabanan vis-a-vis an unmarried Jewish girl. Okay. See, also number 2, erva midrabanan below. Okay, so again, this example. For example, non-Jewish woman is considered erva midrabanan to a Jewish man. So technically, seclusion is not in the first category, right? So first condition is a man and a woman, and second condition is she's erva on a biblical level. Right, so there is a non-Jew, so a Jew is non-Jew, they're not forbidden on a biblical level. Okay. Or they are forbidden on a rabbinical, but that's a different story. Continue. It must be emphasized, however, that this is strictly academic point. Yichud is almost always forbidden in any case midrabanan, since any man and a woman who are not married to each other, with exception of certain relatives or other exceptions, see section C below, for all practical purposes halachically similar to erva on at least rabbinic level. Okay, so basically it's easier to go to exceptions, right, than to go to the rules, because there are only like little exceptions, and the rest of the people are forbidden. So let me see how long we should go. Okay, one second. Okay, let's try to continue a little more. The meaning of the term erva, the word erva is correctly translated as nakedness. So meaning, as we always say in explanation of modesty, if a woman has a short sleeve, for example, so she's an erva, so she's a naked. Is she naked? No, she's not naked. But halachically, yes, she's erva, nakedness, right? So the word erva is correctly translated as nakedness. There is that which is concealed and should not be exposed, right? Nakedness meaning concealed, should not be exposed. It's a very interesting explanation. However, it is also the conceptual term, having different meaning in having halachic context, in varying halachic context. Okay, we'll see. With regard to halachos of Yichud, the term erva, so it's not that she could be dressed modestly, right? Erva is not like there is when we're talking about modestly, erva is the nakedness, right? But here in the terms of Yichud, erva is something else. It refers to a person between whom the marriage and or relationships are forbidden, and with whom seclusion is therefore likewise forbidden. So I think it's like basic formula that, of course, there are exceptions. So the daughter, like or a mother, or with a mother, the marriage is also forbidden, but it's not yichud. But beside this exception, again, with regard to halachos of yichud, term erva, meaning right, erva could be him or her, refers to persons between whom the marriage is marriage and or relations are forbidden, right? In which with whom seclusion therefore likewise forbidden. So if you cannot marry her, like in simple words, so she's erva and you are not allowed to be with her. Okay. But of course, people ask, yeah, but if I'm not married, she's not married, so what's the problem? Yeah, that's forbidden on rabbinical level. Okay. So he said in also in volume 2, wow, chapter 10, section C, will further elaborate on halachos of erva and the different meaning of the term. So there, and in the second part of the book, it's amazing book. We're going to discuss modesty. So second part of the book, I just looked up a little. So laws of the modesty. Okay. So continue. In its pure literal sense, the term erva refers to indecent, shameful, and a shameful exposure. For example, misappropriate physical exposure, inappropriate physical exposure. Okay. However, in the most halachic context, it's referred to forbidden physical relations. For example, any woman who forbidden to have relations with any particular man or man, right? So, okay, one or more. Okay. So again, in the case of modesty, we say erva. So yeah, so call isha erva. Yeah, here's another example. So meaning what is voice of a woman is nakedness. Is she naked? I don't know. But even if she sings on the radio or somewhere, so there's some leniency. Some people say if you don't know how she looks like, but we try not to go to leniency, right? Right. So the voice of a woman is also erva, but it's different erva. So here when we say erva, it's only in the context until gets the volume 2 is only when relations are forbidden between them. Forbidden. So okay. A prime example of is a married woman. She's classed as severe form of erva. Okay, severe form of erva because why? Because she's married already. She cannot get married to somebody else. To virtual all men. So she's erva to all men because right, because she has a husband. Okay. Continue. I don't want to make it too long. Maybe let's do two more and we stop. Yeah, two paragraphs and we stop. The term erva in the Torah. Although any forbidden consort is included under the general category of erva, the term erva in the Torah usually refers to incest. There is a certain blood relatives. So that's, I would say, the third definition of erva, right? Right. One more time. Although the forbidden consort is included under the general category of erva, right, with all of this for this married woman, so everybody is erva. The term erva in the Torah usually refers to incest. So incest is meaning with like close relatives, right? There is a certain blood relatives, father, brother, right, son. However, some non-blood relatives are also included, as for example, a man's sister-in-law. There is the wife, the wife's sister, okay, who is an erva to him, even if his wife was divorced, and the sister-in-law is unmarried. So a person is not allowed, there is a separate prohibition, a person is not allowed to marry two sisters. Like technically he can marry to women, right, to wives, but not to sisters. Why? Because they're going to compete. It's not a good idea. And while the one sister is alive, so if guy divorced one sister, right, divorce, and or she, let's say she passed away, so he's allowed to marry her sister. But if she's if he just divorced her and she's alive, he's not allowed to marry her. So in this case, that sister is erva. So under even though like she's erva, so he's single, she's single, right? The two Jews, they're single. He's not Cohen, right? But since he was married, was previously married to her sister, so she's forbidden as erva. That's the explanation of what we just said, even though both of them are unmarried. Continue. Erva, with regard to Yichud. In the context of Yichud, For the practical purposes, the status of erva can include any female over 3 years old, right? So we had these questions about 3 years old. So because we're going to say, so if somebody is with a girl, that older than 3, this is considered to be halachically relations, right? With halachically, meaning with all of the penalties that come in from that, all these things. Okay. Meaning, and if he did whatever he did, so she's not going to be virgin. But before 3 years old, so it's actually if somebody, a pervert, had relations with this little baby, right? So she's not most likely it's going to grow back, and she's going to be a virgin. So, and these relations were not halachically relations. I think we're going to discuss it. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But that's the thing. That's how 3 years old important for a girl, and 9 years old for a boy. So a boy, if he had relations before 9, so it's not considered halachically relations. Okay. So one more time. In the context of Yichud, for the practical purposes, the status of erva can include any female over the 3 years old with any man to whom she's not married. So basically everybody. See also below for a fuller elaboration on the various halachic context of the arise. Okay, so we're going to discuss it in another place. All right. So let's stop here. Let me know if any questions on what we said. Yes.
We have some questions on the board. First one says, Shalom, question about Yichud. Can a man go to an ophthalmological consultation with a female doctor? What about if the office door is open?
So usually she's not the only one there. So I would advise find a male doctor. Usually male doctor, like in some fields, maybe they are better even than female doctor. But so it would be harder for women to find. But for men, there is no shortage of a good male doctor. So there is no reason whatsoever to go to female doctors. Unless she's like one of the kind, this famous professor in Haloshon had the special case of I don't know what. So yeah, then that would be allowable. But otherwise, there is no reason to do that. Okay.
Thank you for the love.
You're welcome.
Next question. For the love on Yichud. I'm thinking about specific cases where a person had to be raised by someone who is related to him, like his aunt / uncle, because his parents died or are not around for whatever reason. Also, when the person is adopted, how do laws of Yichud apply in these cases after the person reaches adulthood?
So that's it's not easy. It's not easy as we understand the cases applied. Let's leave it for later on when we hear the discussion from the book. So because I know only highlights, I don't want to let's wait until we get to that topic, because it's as we said, it's adopted children also, right? So you're not allowed to touch, right? You have 3 of your children, and you have this adopted daughter. She's cute and has all your other 3 daughters, let's say. All of them you can hug and kiss, and this one you cannot. So what are you going to do? Right, that's all of the good questions. It's not so simple. Okay.
Next question. Since we don't practice levirate marriage today, is the brother-in-law considered elva for the widow?
Yes. So let me quickly explain the situation. So we have this law of Yibum, meaning what? That when a man dies childless, meaning not from this marriage, not a previous marriage, no children at all. So there is Torah law that his brother, or one of the brothers, he has several brothers, marries his widow, and his brother's widow, and the son that is born from this union is going to be like a continuation of the soul of the deceased. So it's, of course, it's an open miracle that Hashem would do, and it has halachic ramification. Why? Because this boy, even though his biological father is a brother, it's not deceased. Deceased is deceased, right? But this boy is going to be inherited after that after the deceased father, after deceased. He's not his father. So basically, they are his biological father and him are going to compete for inheritance. Understand? So most likely the boy is going to get all of the inheritance, and this brother would get whatever his father is going to live in, but not that's the situation. But of course, for this miracle to happen and the soul of deceased brother would go into this child, you need pure intentions. And our sages at one point they just realized that people don't have pure intention. Yeah, they don't mind to marry their brother's widow, but because of the other thoughts, like improper thoughts, and even if physically they do everything correctly, but it's not going to bring the spiritual results like continuation of this deceased lineage. So what's the purpose? And that's why they stopped it, right? They abolished it, not about put it on hold till we have better people. And now you do just chalitza. So you go into court, right? And there is a special procedure when it says that he does not want to marry her, even nobody asked him. But I mean, there is a special procedure, and only after this procedure she is allowed to get married to whoever she wishes, except him. So he's ever forever, right? And that's the answer to that question, right? But before they did this chalitza procedure, so is she in some sense like semi-married status? Understand? So to this guy, to the brother of the deceased. So it's in some sense it's like a get. So without that she cannot remarry to somebody else, but he is always erva. So that's a good example of erva, right? Even though he's single, she's single, right? No, I mean widow, but still cannot marry. Okay, good question. What else? Go ahead.
In such a situation, if the person's brother was of the dead, then and he didn't want anything to do with the religion, how would there be a way to bypass him doing the chalitza?
No. I mean the law is the same. Doesn't matter. So I mean, so yeah. So they have to do chalitza and like divorce, and the brother cannot marry her ever.
Yeah. Next question. Shalom Kol Rav, are men allowed to practice obstetrics and gynecology, and similarly, are women allowed to be urologists?
I mean, it's a very, very good question. So, I mean, the basic gynecologist are men, right? I don't know why it would be, but like in my mind, the women should be more sensitive, more like, but opposite is true, right? Opposite is true. I mean, that's what people say. I don't know, but that's what people say. Many women. Right, but so it would be like for a Jewish religious man, it would be proper not to go into this profession. But some of them do, do go, but it says so. It's even if he went to this profession, it's after the fact. After the fact, of course, he's not. Hopefully, he's not crazy, and he concentrated on his trade. So that's what Talmud says, that we're not afraid that the doctor, like unless he's a psycho, right, would do something big, because he's concentrated on his profession. And especially today, like all these doctors that I go. I mean, I don't go to many doctors, but I see the appointments every 15. So they booked every 15 minutes. I never, maybe one time in my life, maybe, I don't know, something happened. So maybe I had a first appointment, and then doctor like miraculously came in town and something, that's it. But otherwise, like you have a 11:15 appointment, you're going to get there maybe at 12, the best case scenario, right? Because he has all of these appointments every 15 minutes. He wants to squeeze as much as possible. So if the doctor has such a schedule, and what I saw, all of the doctors, like, maybe we go to good doctors, but all of them, my wife also told me, like, crazy, absolutely crazy schedule. So that they don't have time to think of indecency or do something, because there are people are pushing. There is already a next patient. So what I'm trying to say, technically there is maybe not advisable, but no problem. But the problem would be, and our sages will learn actually in Nishmat Abraham, right? Even though a woman, let's say she heard about this doctor, like a male doctor, and he much better than all of the women gynecologists. Okay, well, okay, but it's not proper for women to go to relatives, right? So, for example, he's her brother-in-law. Okay, and then he saw her on Thursday. On Friday night, they sit at the table, right, together. So he just saw her just recently. So that's a little too much, right? It creates some kind of like a familiarity, and that's not good. You understand? But okay. So I think if person wants to be a doctor, just pick different profession, right? I mean, not this like field, not gynecology, but after the fact, there is no problem. Okay. Guys, you're welcome.
There are two more questions, but I don't think they're on the subject of Yichud. Actually, wait, one just popped up. It's on Yichud. Okay. Shalom Rav, on the subject of Yichud and Shidduch, if someone works in a field that predictably leads to situations of Yichud, but maybe there's an exception, is this still fairly disqualifying for marriage?
I didn't get the question. How is it? I mean, we started from job and end up with a marriage. Could you read it again?
Shalom Rav, on the subject of Yichud and Shidduch, if someone works in a field that predictably leads to situations of Yichud, but maybe there is an exception, is this still fairly disqualifying for marriage?
So okay. So all right. So thank you. No, that makes sense. So persons who in his job, like this guy who used to learn with us, right? Cable technician, right? So he would go usually in the people's houses in the morning, like during the day. Let's say men are out working, and housewives are there with children or no children, let's say. And he's there. So if profession like that, is she allowed to get married? So like if is it a good candidate? It's maybe it's not such a good idea. Maybe he can change profession. So because you see when people go to other people's houses, and he's in situation of yichud like all day long, and it's let's say most of the people non-Jews, but sometimes he will go to a Jewish house. If it's like I don't know apartment building or something, and you can open the door so everybody can see that there is something going on. The door is open. They hear what's going on in the apartment. So that's maybe it's a little easier. But if you have live somewhere in the suburbs, like a huge distance between apartments, the houses, so it's Yichud 100%. So a person, a man like that who got used to all of the situation is, of course, it's problematic. He feels very familiar with women. That's not good. Understand? So of course it would depends on circumstances, but if it's as we said, if it's a biblical yichud, why would somebody choose this kind of profession, right? Or like find out the way not to be in that situation. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Love. Here on the previous question, thank you, Love. How about the women being urologists?
Urologists, I mean, I think urology also for women. It's urology not only for men, the way I understand. There is, yeah. So she can see like today is today. Did I ever hear? I mean, today in the religious neighborhoods, like it is like when we have doctors right there, so he would not see women, right? So, for example, right, or sometimes they would have one day for women and one day for men, right? So, meaning not to intermingle in the waiting room. You also have to remember that, right? In the waiting room, something like that, yeah. You're welcome.
Question on. Actually, I think that was the last.
So we can go to any topics. So yeah, go any topic. Go ahead.
So for love, how should we dispose of moldy bread?
Moldy bread? I mean before Pesach?
I think in general, there wasn't a clarification. But
Okay, so moldy bread. So okay, maybe I'm guessing it's continuation of the topic not to waste food. So when some food is spoiled, so don't eat this food. It's not healthy. So and moldy bread is it's disgusting usually. Smells bad and tastes bad. So you can dispose it. You can put it in the garbage if you want. With just wrap it in a tissue, paper towel, something. It would be more like proper. But otherwise, there is no problem. It's not considered to be food. Okay. Even dog is going to eat it. Okay. So somebody asked me a question. Also, this person you used to learn with us asked me a question about. I'm not going to say about something if it's allowed to use on Pesach. I didn't have time to check. It's a very specific question. So I said try to taste it. So why do I taste it? It's like for a rabbin, right? So like something like some cream or something. I said try to taste it. Because if it tastes bitter, the dog is not going to eat it, so it's not considered to be Pesach, Chometz. Yeah, understand? So of course I can go and try to look up, but it's going to take you a very long time. I mean, we provide the resource, this book, Rabbi Blumenkratz, right? So you can buy the book, you can buy applications. If you need to do something like if you need to check something, but otherwise like simple straightforward way without looking at that book. So don't use any colognes. I don't use any perfume because most likely there is alcohol, and don't use creams, right? Sometimes there is a thing in a cream. For women, the lipstick also, in some of them that they have flour for sure, chometz. And dog is going to eat lipstick. And other things like right. So and those are no problem because you're going to sell them, and basically you don't need book. Like if you check the toothpaste, okay, so yeah, the toothpaste, kosher, without chametz, and mouthwash, and that's it. So all other things you can skip. I mean, in his book, it's like I don't know how many pages. All of this list. What is like perfume that is kosher, not kosher, mascara, that lipstick, this lipstick, it's gloss, schmoss, like too much. It's like simply too much. Like I mean, but if people cannot live without it, yeah, that's you have to buy the book and buy whatever is kosher or Pesach. Otherwise, don't use it, and you can sell it anyway. We're going to sell chametz, right, to non-Jews. So you're going to sell all of the things as well. But in perfumes, most likely there is alcohol for sure. Is it allowed, permitted, not permitted? It's a different story. Okay.
Thank you for
You're welcome.
next question. Should we sell open grain products like barley or flour for Pesach? What if the items are only safek chametz?
So first of all, okay, flour for sure it's chametz, for sure. Like unless it's like some from a third world country or something, maybe it's not chametz. But all of them from developed country, they wash it, they bleach it, and why is such a the flowers are such a white color, right? So if you look like a flour from olden days, unbleached flour, so it's not white. It's not white. So and then they wash the grain and they wash they use the steam basically. So that's the issue. So all of the flour is 100% chametz. Other things, there's other grains. I mean, maybe the chametz, maybe not. Okay, maybe the chametz, maybe not. But if you're going to sell, it's not like you. If you sell more, you have to pay more. Like you sell as a wholesale. Right, so you just sell all of the chametz, whatever you have, and stay away from these things, and that's it. So there is no problem. So we don't have to look too deep into it. Flour is for sure chametz, but others maybe yes, maybe no. Like if you have a wheat, maybe it's chametz, maybe not. Maybe it was like on the bottom of the sack, it was wet, right, and it became chametz. Okay. What else?
Next question here says, Shalom Rav, some seeds such as chia or flax seed can grow a little if they are left to soak in liquids. Are they prohibited during Pesach if the person who consumes them does so as part of their daily treatment for an illness? It would not be due to pikuach nefesh, but the patient's health is greatly deteriorated in the days after not consuming the seeds, even if it's only for one day.
So we talked about flax seeds, and the first one was what? Chia? What was it?
Yeah, chia.
Chia. Yeah, it is food or not? Like in general.
It's like little seeds.
Yeah, tiny one. Yeah, I think it's they grow. This one is. I think that's what I meant when I said there is one grain is that they recently allowed. It was huge discussion for several years, and I think it grows in Peru or something like only in South America, and it was not a prohibition of kidneys that they established in Europe. They simply never had it. So the way I read this research, so it says they usually don't grow wheat next to it because like in close proximity, because I don't remember why, because maybe the wheat is not good for it. It's going to I don't know, whatever it is. So it was like I think maybe in a mountain region or something. So it's not. It's like very like independent. Like for Sepharim, there was no problem, and for some years it was actually said on the package Pesach OU, like Orthodox Union, P, and Sephardim, right? Sephardim kidneys. It was Sephardim, like Sephardim and kidneys. So it's like and a person might look at it and say like if it's kidneys, so it's like how you can call it for Pesach, but for Sephardim there is no problem, right? And after that, after like few years later, they actually remove it kidneys, and it's not considered kidneys, meaning that Ashkenazi people also can eat it. Okay, whatever we buy, it does not say for like for Pesach. I'm not sure. I mean, so we don't use it because I don't know how what they do it like to produce it. Maybe they sometimes they might use like I give you this example in some dry fruits, right? For example, dry cherry, like the dry cherry. In order for them for the cherry like sour cherry, the sour dry cherry, in order for them not to get stuck to each other, they put flour, right? Or some other things like blueberry, dry blueberry, they also put flour, a little sprinkle. You don't see it, but it's like and sometimes they spray with olive oil, with vegetable oil, so they to preserve the moistness. So it's like a person think, yes. So what is it like? What is the problem? I am buying this blueberry. Like what could be like blueberry is chometz? Yeah, Rabbi, blueberry is chometz, 100% chometz, because of the flour, this sour cherry, 100% chometz. Yeah, you understand? So especially as we said many times. Today, you cannot assume things just because it's like only this. Right? You don't know what was added into preservatives, right? Okay, so it was. So could you go? Let's do the question again, please. I think I missed one part. I think.
Sure. Shalom Kodolav. Some seeds, such as chia or flaxseed, can grow a little if they are left to soak in liquids. Are they prohibited during Pesach if the person who consumes them does so as part of a daily treatment for illness? It would not be pikuach nefesh, but the patient's health is greatly deteriorated in the days after not consuming the seed, even if it's only for one day.
So I think if it's for a medicinal reason, so it's not considered to be food. So and plus I don't think the dog is going to eat the seeds. You understand? So I mean, if we understand the question correctly, if a person puts seed into water and it grows like it has the sprouts, right? Whatever these famous sprouts that people use. Whatever this, what is it? Wheat sprouts or something. So on these sprouts we actually say shechakol, just so you know. It's not bara prichodom. It did not grow from the ground. The seed, yes, but the sprouts is not. We say shechakol on them. And flax, I don't think people eat flax. I know like flax seed oil that they use for baby treatments and stuff like that, for some other things, but it's not food. So I think if it's for medicinal reasons, and it's like for sure, like as the person said, that the health is going to deteriorate, like maybe not right away, but like right after that. So yeah, I would say we can allow a person to use that. Like I went to a doctor to check up, and I have this medicine for a few years. So I said, the doctor, I feel good. Maybe we should like take me out of this medicine. And he started smiling. It's very, very interesting, right? You have to talk to professionals. So to this professional said, yeah, he said, for a few you will feel good now because of the medicine. Like first few weeks after you get off the medicine, you're going to feel good, but then it's going to deteriorate very fast. So he said, I advise you not to go off, right? And of course there is no big side effects, this and that. I mean, that's it. You understand? But the point is the same. So he said clearly, you go off for a few weeks, it's good, and then you out basically. So yeah. I would say we can allow it in this case because it's not food. It's not considered to be food. Okay.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Next question. Question from a few days ago. Question about anger. Nadav and Avihu and a strange fire. Their body was consumed internally because of the strange fire they offered. Based on this, could we say that anger may be deemed a strange fire based on the numerous descriptions from the Chachamim who said that anger destroys the inner organs, including lungs, stomach, and intestines, among others?
It is, yes. I mean, it's a question. Yeah, it's 100%. This anger is a strange fire that that comes into a person, and that's how, as we said yesterday, how is anger described in biblical literature, like a few, like the sparks or the heat is coming from one's nose, right? That's like the whole body becoming hot, right? You become hot suddenly. You're angry, something is not going your way, and you're hot. What is it like? How did it change? Like how did it get from normal room temperature to being hot, right? Because of the anger. For sure, it's a heat and it's foreign fire, as we said, avodah zarah, right? Right. So this avodah zarah, like this idol worshiping, is also use the fire, and the fire is for something negative, right? So serving idols, right? Demons and etc. So yeah, this fire is going to bring person to bad situations, right? I was trying to help somebody. They were like husband and wife, lived for a very long time, and then whatever happened, and he said whatever he said, and he regretted half a second after he said it, and go try to do peace. She does not want to hear this. You understand? So it's very, very sad. Why? Because he could not keep his mouth shut for 1 second. So now all these years they were together. Hopefully she's going to change her mind, but could go to garbage because of one sentence of anger. Right? Very, very sad situation. Okay. What else?
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Next question here. Shalom Kvodah, question about wasting food. If we are particular about food and cook a food that is inedible for us but likely would be eaten by other people, we try to fix it but are unable to eat it. What should we do about the food?
Inedible food for us. I mean, if this food is inedible for you, so it's not considered to be food. So, for example, somebody that does not eat chicken skin for whatever medical purposes, cholesterol, this, whatever reason. Is it edible? Yeah. Is it kosher? 100%. Right? Is a person obligated to find somebody to give this chicken skin? Absolutely not. So for this person, it's not food. So they can throw out. There is no problem. So if you can give it to somebody, yeah, it would be great. Give it to a cat or something. They would thank you. But you're not obligated. Unless a person gives us a different example. But in like the first example that came to my mind.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That was the example. So the next question. Can we use food that was prepared and frozen prior to Pesach that is not chametz, but was fine that also cut chametz? Cut with a knife that also cut chametz, yeah.
Yeah, so on Pesach we're trying to be very careful. So even though you're not obligated to get rid of such a food, right? But you cannot eat it on Pesach for sure. So it's usually the ratio on the biblical level it's majority. So if you have a majority of the kosher food, right, the mixture is permitted. after the fact, of course. We don't mix kosher and non-kosher. But so if it's somebody did the intention, it doesn't matter what ratio, it's absolutely forbidden. I said absolutely forbidden. There are some exceptions, but let's not go into exception. In general, it's forbidden. But rabbis say 1 to 60. So 1 to 60, if you have 60 parts of permissible food and 1 part of forbidden food, so it's 60 plus 1, so 61 parts. So there is no problem. And plus, there is of course very very important condition that you cannot taste it. So if it's like similar, so kosher meat is in non-kosher meat, for example, or what we like meat and the milk, right, or something kosher, not kosher, like 1 to 60, it's nullified, right? But in the Pesach, is even 1 to 1,000 is not nullified. That's how careful we must be on Pesach, especially the knife. Remember how we should kosher knife, so it's all a big deal. So we would not allow to use this food. Okay. So and plus, since Pesach is coming very fast, so I advise everybody to get ready as soon as possible. So for us, I think my wife is switching everything to Pesach. So we're now on the disposable plates. That's it. Everything is closed. Yeah. So we're going to the basic dishes now. Okay.
Thank you for the love. Next question here says, for the love, if our newly bought unused rubber gloves have powder, likely cornstarch inside, do we need to worry about the powder being chametz?
Powder. I don't think they make it powder from flour. I don't think so. I think from it's like a chalk or something, like from but not flour. Might be because if it would be flour, if you add a little water, it would come in pieces. But the powder in this what is it in the gloves never comes in pieces. Okay. Sometimes it absorbs in the hands, but it's not hummus. Right.
Thank you for that. Next question. Considering we're allowed to feed our chametz to our animals, would it be considered wasting food if we give it all to them when it's still permissible because of it being more practical and the person doesn't have much time available to sell it? Of course, while being careful to check that they don't hide it.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's a very practical question. So if you have I don't know, cereal, boxes of 3 boxes of cereals, let's say, 2 boxes of pasta. Are your animal are going to eat all of this? I don't know. Like, I'm not sure how practical is it. And plus, this chametz also in vinegar. If you have vodka, if you have whiskey, also chametz. Beer, also chametz. Some other thing like. Liquors also chametz. So I'm not sure. Like if you have like few boxes of cookies or something like a little bread, pita, I don't know, something. Yeah, I understand the animal is going to eat it. I mean, unless you live on a farm and you have many farm animals and you have cows and horses and whatever is you cook the spaghetti, give them, they're going to feast there, like you very very much. Yeah, there is no problem. But otherwise, like pets, they're not going to eat so much, I think. Okay, so that's right. So, but of course, it's your animal. You can feed them. You're obligated to feed them. But is it going to be healthy for them? Maybe it's not. I don't know.
The person clarified. only the things that the animal would eat, like cake, cookies, and bread.
Okay, yeah, of course, yeah. It's not disrespect to the food, because you physically cannot eat this food. So I'm going to explain the question. This question is actually a halakhic question. It says that it's a very good question. It's not proper to feed your animals with the food that is good for humans, right? Because it disrespect for the food, right? If and some people somebody told. I mean, people do not even understand. They love animals so much. So the lady said, I said, what do you have against cats? I said, I don't have anything against cats. I think that they're cute. But I said, I would not eat them with them from the same dish. And this lady said, but I do. Like, absolutely normal. She said, I'm sitting to eat. Cat jumps on a table, and we eat from a cat from this side, and I from more from my sides of the planet. Like there are people like that. And you understand? So I'm not sure what's the difference between her and cat. Maybe not such a big difference. You understand? So, but all joking aside, um, so in some sense it's disrespect to give animal the food that is good for you. That they can go on simple food, right? That they're not so sophisticated. The dogs can eat absolutely anything, even their own poop. So they're not such a big I don't know what is the word, I don't know, whatever the word, gourmands or something, right? Okay, well, so you got the point. So they can eat anything. That's why when we taste when we test something, is it chometz or not? Shulchan Aruch says clearly if dog is going to eat it. So if your dog is disgusted, he said, it means it's not chometz, right? Even though it's maybe you're going to eat, but dog is not going to eat. So it's meaning the dog can eat anything. So for you to cook special meal, special very expensive piece of meat to give it to your dog, so it's waste of time, and not waste of time, but waste of money, disrespect to the food. Okay, because it can go on cheaper food, right? And what else? Right, but if you have choice to destroy it or give it to animals, of course give it to animals. Don't throw out, right? So of course don't stuff yourself, right? It's also not healthy. Okay, go ahead.
Next question. Are mushrooms permissible, rather forbidden on Pesach?
There's no problem whatsoever with mushrooms. I mean, unless they're canned mushrooms, and you have to see how they're preserved. But usually, like fresh mushroom, there is no problem. Yeah.
And the next question here is: should one in their process of converting sell their chametz for practice?
I think so. Yes, absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and it's just since we're on the topic, it's proper to give some donation. There is no set amount, but whatever you give is give. Right? I mean, so somebody's doing job for you, right? It's proper to be thankful. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question is on the unrelated subject of deception. Would it be forbidden to use bots to spread Torah inspiration?
Say it again. Would it be allowed to use what?
Would it be forbidden to use bots to spread Torah inspiration? So program accounts to spam Torah on different.
Oh, okay. You see, I did not even know what we were talking. Okay, I think so. Why is it deception? I didn't get what is it.
Because people think it's 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 a real person commenting, but all of it's been pre-written.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. Oh.
Message.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I do. I copy and paste. I prepare my comments. Like so, sometimes it's like a general. So I suggest something. Thank you very much. I cannot type everything, but I read the message. Sometimes it's personalized comments, but many times just a comment. I mean, somebody thanking you, so thank them back. Like say thank you for watching or something. Like, but. Is it not allowed because it is like a pre-program? I don't think so. I mean, you see, I never heard about it. I mean that technically like there is no problem, but I would say a person have to be like careful if they care about results, because read before you answer. So sometimes like person writes something and they miss words, let's say, right? So they like or misspell or miss words, but when you read, you understand what was said. But if you leave it to a computer, I'm not sure if a computer would figure out and leave a stupid comment. Okay. So for example, when we do translation, we do subtitles. If you leave you give it to computer to translate, it is a disaster and a half. Right? I mean, like 75% it's good, but it does not make sense. We have to modify. We have to add words, remove words, because it does not make sense. Right? So computers are good, but it's nothing like a human. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question here says. I passed it. Okay, here it is. In the introductory part of Kriyas Shema, we recite, "He adorns the humble with salvation," since usually the main reason for adorning something is to enhance its appearance in both our eyes and the eyes of others.
Mm-hmm.
I even say to make it more attracting. Does this mean that the more humble the person is, the more he'll become a vessel for how much the salvation he receives from Hashem will be a Kiddush Hashem in the eyes of the public?
Mm-hmm.
And how many people will witness it rather than a type of salvation which no one but the person himself notices nor cares about?
I think it's a very good question. It's actually it's a combination of things, and it says that Torah is compared to water. Well, why is it to water? Because water always goes to the lowest place, right? So it finds all of the cracks that are the lowest. So who knows the best? Like the waterproofing guys. So we had the leak in our roof. So I had to find where the water is coming from. So it's not so simple. It can travel. Like the hole is here, crack is here. It can travel, and the leak could be in somewhere else. You understand? So but at the end it goes to the lowest place, and comparing like to a person. How does it compare? That only person who wants to humble himself or herself, they can accept the Torah, right? And only the Torah can be available for them, and they can comprehend and actually remember and practice. So other people, they have just a good memory. They can repeat to, like, I don't know, 5 minutes after they learn, but other, like you ask them 3 days later, 1 year later, they have no idea what you're talking, right? Because they're not humble. But so this humility actually means it's a way on a road to greatness in Torah, right? And Hashem like love humble people, like David, like Moshe, right? And he made them great, right? And Shaul was very humble in the beginning, was very humble, right? He was even Hashem said, you're going to be king, and he was hiding behind where people, when they assemble everybody, right? So, and actually to announce that publicly again that he's a king. So Shaul came, and this Shmuel came, And Shaul was hiding where people left their packages, like horses and carriages, like behind the camp. So that's where he was hiding. He was so ashamed to show up to be like inaugurated as a king. You understand? So Hashem loves these people. So it's very good, right? Humility is greatness, but it must be a true humility, not one who pretends to be humble, and but in essence is not. And Hashem is going to make these people likable by other people, right? So about angry people, it says Talmud says even if their family cannot stand them, right? So they nice to that person, but only when this old man is going to die. What old? I'm 50 years old. Yeah, old. Right? We got so much from you. And be constantly be angry, yelling at us, like insulting us. Yeah, the wife and the children. They wait for that person to die. Everybody hates him, right? But humble person, he attracts everybody, right? And I know few people in my life who is humble, right? One is very very humble. One is okay. So and these people like a magnet. People like attached to them, right? And like on subconscious level, they see they feel the decency in these people, for sure. Okay.
Thank you for the help.
You're welcome.
Next question. Shalom Polav, do we need to use kosher for Pesach veggie wash?
I don't. Is it kosher the Pesach veggie wash? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe there is. Maybe there is not. And I never checked mine. I'm not sure. I have to ask my wife if she's using. So usually, like the soap for sure. The dish soap it must be kosher Pesach. And some brands, if you look at this Rabbi Blumenkratz book, so last year it was I don't remember how to pronounce Palma whatever, PULM, I don't know, like Palmaville, some like this famous brand. So they actually call kosher Pesach. I think all of the brands, all of the flavors, and some others like, but you have to check in the book. Right, so even if you're not sure about this, if you're going to get the book, for sure it should say about this veggie wash. But if you're not sure, right, you're allowed to put it set it aside and wash with the soap, the dish soap. So the dish soap is actually edible. I mean, we don't recommend to eat, but if somebody swallowed, it's not like you will swallow regular hand soap, right, or your body wash or shampoo. Right, shampoo is very bitter, right? Sometimes it goes in the mouth. It's very bitter. Okay, but that soap is edible. Okay, so that's why it's safe. Okay. You're welcome.
There's one more question just here. I think I missed it. Okay, it's just adding on to the previous question about humility.
Mm-hmm.
So if the person notices he's not very likable by others, of course, should he focus more on working his humility?
I think so. Yeah, it's one of the reasons. Could be. Mm-hmm. So, and if you from humility would come the person would develop other character traits, very important, right? Like mercy, right? When like arrogant people, they have no mercy. Like everybody is beneath them, everybody's undeserving except me. Who else? You understand? So, but when person is humble, so he or she cares suddenly about everybody, right? So they trying to to make everybody happy or like comfortable, or just to survive. Okay, that's so that's very, very important character trait.
Thank you, Lord.
You're welcome.
I think that was the last question. Yeah, that was the last question.
Okay, very good. So thank you very much for joining us. Please join us tomorrow, same time. We're going to continue with our kosher kitchen. Thank you and good night. Okay.
Hashem, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're okay.